This is Walt Disney. I would like to welcome all of you to the Park Streamers Hangout tonight. Bob, Danny, and Cordy are dear friends, and I know they have an amazing podcast for you. So thanks for joining us tonight, and enjoy the show.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Park Streamers Hangout. And am I going to get it right in the right order? Hello, kids, dreamers, and jammers.
Yeah, we got it.
There we go.
Welcome, everybody. We have a fun show for you tonight. But before we get into it, let's go ahead and do our introduction. So Theme Park Casual, let everybody know where they can find you. And if you know when you're going to be live next, let us know about that.
Alrighty, yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and X, all of them at Theme Park Casual. I am planning to be in the parks again this Wednesday evening, hopefully hanging out with our good friend Dragon Blood and taking in another cold evening of the Christmas and holiday festivities.
Very good. Berry Place 28. Please let everybody know where they can find you and an update on what you're working on.
Well, you guys can find me on YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Facebook. And as many of you knew, I had surgery about a week and a half ago, and I have had my arm in a sling. As you can tell tonight, I don't have it in a sling because I did get my sling removed. I did get my stitches removed. That doesn't look so hot, I know, but my arm is feeling, I'm in a lot of pain right now, but I'm feeling better than I did before. So with that, if I can get a reservation for Wednesday, I'm going to be in the park, and Pete from Nerd Did Disney has graciously offered to hold my gimbal for me and be my Anthony, like Main Street Cowgirl, because I can hold the gimbal with my left hand. I can't hold it with my right hand, unfortunately. So yeah, if I can get a reservation, then I'm going to join him at night, and then hopefully maybe we can do it with Theme Park Casual and Dragon Blood HD for a little bit as well. But if I don't get a reservation, then my next day at the park will be on Saturday, and hopefully Ariel will hold my gimbal for me for a little bit, and she'll be with me Saturday. And I think there's a lot of people who are going to be there on Saturday, so hopefully we'll meet up with a bunch of other streamers.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, that's great news. I'm glad everything went well. With getting your cast and getting your sling and everything off on the mend.
Thank you.
And I am Cordy in California. YouTube, Twitch, Discord, Instagram. I am on Threads a little more lately. And my next day in the parks will be Wednesday as well, because Dragon Blood, it's been a while since Dragon Blood has been out to the park. So I think a lot of us are going to try and head out and hang out with him. And I think I have one for Thursday, and then Saturday, we're planning to do a lot of the Festival of Holidays foods, try those out and have a big group so we can try a lot of different things and share with you guys. So that will be fun.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Awesome.
So we have a few things to cover, but one of the we were going to talk about something first. What were we going to talk about first? I'm jumping right in.
Got a birthday today.
Oh yes. Happy birthday to Mickey Mouse. I got so confused because we were talking about it last night, and when it gets close to midnight, I'm like, wait, is it today?
Right.
But Mickey Mouse himself turned 96 today, so a big happy birthday to the man himself, the mouse himself. Wonderful.
Yeah, and I was actually surprised there didn't seem to be a lot of people streaming in the park earlier today. So I was kind of surprised that for kind of a somewhat of a big occasion, there wasn't anybody in the park. But I think everybody's tired from the weekend kickoff of the holidays, which we'll be getting into.
Yeah, I think so too. It was dying down by Sunday night. Like I think everybody just gave it their all Friday and Saturday, and just it started to.
Well, you guys can probably hear it in my voice. I went a little much on Saturday. I did 7.5 hours, and it was a decently chilly day the whole time. So and I was already dealing with a sinus issue. So, and
Yeah, it's been,
trying to make sure I'm okay enough for Wednesday. So,
good.
but we should say hello to everybody before we get into the big meat of the show.
Right.
We've got a lot of people already joining us. We have Theme Parks and More, Amy H, Amusement Park Pirates, Buddy Hepburn, Doom Boogie, Chad Pritchard, David Diaz, Tom F, Ad the Dutch Disney Lover, Christy, PH Disney, Alan Smithy, Carol G, Tamara Delaney, Haunted Mermaid, Mike Grunch, Latoya Hanson, Aubrey Harris, Dash of Disney, Christina Holmes, which I get a kick out of your Christmas name, Christina Holmes Alone. Love it. Cool
funny.
Drummer. And just joining us is SoCal Sports, Slim Devon's Adventures, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Pirate. So welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight.
There are. Yes, thank you. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too, Buddy Hepburn.
Yep.
That was on our radar today.
Oh, and Geofire just snuck in.
Geofire. Oh, Geofire hasn't come up with a Christmas name yet. Working on it.
It's going to be Geo roasting chestnuts on a fire.
And zombies.
Yeah. That might work. It's a little bit tougher, I know, for the holidays, like trying to come up with a good name. Halloween was fun, so. But you have to tell us who you are, because sometimes we're like, I think I know, but
Right.
You have to at least let us know. So that we know. Hello, Dasher of Disney. Dasher of Disney. See, there's one.
Right. Yep. Dasher.
Yes.
That's a good one.
I like that.
And Rudolph the Red-Nosed Pirate, obviously.
I know. Trish was on it like as soon as it switched over. So I think we well, no, you didn't get to go, did you? Yeah, you haven't gone because of your hand. I feel like, it's like I feel like you were there with us.
For what? For this weekend?
For the holidays, for the kickoff of the holidays. So.
No, and it's funny. I was talking to my brother about this over the weekend, and he's like, "Oh, it's a good thing you're not there." I think it was actually on Friday we were talking, and I was like, "Yeah, it looks packed. It looks crazy." And I went last year, and I kind of regretted it because it wasn't as much fun as I thought it'd be. It was actually a madhouse, and so it was kind of like, do I really want to do that next year? And then, of course, when they said, "Hey, Tiana's Bayou Adventures opening on November 15th," great. So I made a reservation so I could go, and then I totally forgot that my surgery was going to be on November 8th, and I was like, "Oh, I got 1 week to get healed." Yeah, it's not going to happen. Yeah. So, yeah, and even if I go to the park this Wednesday, I'm not sure. I'll be taking it easy on most of the rides. I don't think it'll be any roller coasters or anything like that right away. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, no, you can just try foods. Just eat food.
Yeah, exactly.
Which there's a lot. And just a side note, because I didn't get a chance to do that, I covered the foods for kind of the holiday foods that were in the parks and the resort, but I didn't get to cover the Festival of Holiday Foods, all the booths. So I plan on doing that tomorrow. So before we go and actually do all those things, because I need to know too, and need to kind of read through it. So, but
we got Christmas Scrooge here too. Another Christmas one.
Christmas Scrooge and Brian Sevilla snuck in here too.
Yeah.
And Brian Sevilla, welcome in. Christmas Scrooge. Oh, there it is. Oh, I love it. So yeah, Friday was the kickoff. It was a pretty crazy day because, and there was someone who posted online, and we were going, chatting back and forth because she brought up something that I found interesting too. Like, it was everything at once, right? So we have the kickoff of the holidays and Tiana, which I kind of felt it. Like, I felt the stress of okay, I got to get a queue for Tiana, and I got to do this, and I got to do that, right? So you're trying to run around everywhere and do everything. But it did feel a little underwhelming for the first day of Tiana, as far as I know they did a media event the night before, but there was so much time and effort put into this that it seemed a little, maybe they should have put it off a week or something. I don't know. My personal thoughts were maybe it shouldn't have been on the same day as the kickoff of the holidays. But
yeah, it did kind of get lost in a little bit in that a little bit. So
yeah, so that just my 2 cents on that. But yeah, so we got our Small World holiday came back, World of Color, Season of Lights, and of course our Believe in Magic fireworks came back
we
too.
got lucky on Wednesday.
Yeah.
The app, everything said closing at 7, closing at 7, closing at 7. 4 o'clock rolls around there, you send a push notification through the app saying there's going to be a special performance of Believe in Holiday Magic, and the park is going to be open until 10, except for Norland Square and Bayou Country. We're going to be closed.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, oh, awesome. And it was funny because not everybody knew that. So at about 6 o'clock, you started seeing like the usual mass exodus as, approaching closing time. And people were just flooding out. And the rest of the park, it was very manageable Wednesday night. It was kind of nice.
That's pretty cool.
And
I wish I was there.
It really, because I was talking to Sammy Bear about it, and she was there that day. And she's like, yeah, it's too bad. They closed at 7. I said, well, no, they didn't.
Yeah.
Actually. So she didn't get that notification. And so she left. She was one of the people that ended up leaving early. So yeah, you just never know. You try to plan like, okay, maybe they'll have soft opening of this, or, we did, of course, get the fireworks again Thursday night, which was
Right.
nice. So, a little bit before it got really crazy.
Did they do a soft open for the food booths at all?
Yeah.
Did you notice? Okay. I figured that's what they usually do that the day before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. With no tabs, but they did open the booths. Unfortunately, I didn't make it for that because that's like daytime activities for the most part.
Yeah. Well, they closed the booths a little bit early. So
yeah, like an hour before they close, and I don't think I got there until fireworks. So I went on Friday. So you got the preview on Wednesday. I went on Friday, and then I know Theme Park Casual went on Saturday to kind of take part in all of those activities. And Friday was a lot of fun. The one thing is you go and yes, it's really crazy packed, and everybody like trying to run around and do everything. But it was really nice to be able to meet with all of our friends, right? So yeah. We're all there streaming together. So that was kind of the nice part of it. And if you were on our streams like mine or Donnie Land's, we got to see our friends Jose and Heidi, right? The family that was that July, August, right?
Yeah, I think it was around July is when we met them, and I'm so glad because they were actually supposed to come out for his birthday the week before or two, but they decided to wait. Oh, I think it was October 27th.
Yeah, October. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he decided, well, Tiana's opening on the 15th. They don't have annual passes or magic keys, so he was like, I want to go on the 15th. So I know his mom did that, and they switched, and I told her, sorry, I won't be there because I'm going to have surgery, but I hope you guys have a great time. And then when Cordy sent me the picture, that was so great seeing that you got to meet up with them and ride Tiana's Bayou Adventure with them. So if you guys aren't familiar with who we're talking about, it's Jose Sandoval. He watches our streams from time to time, and he's usually a regular viewer, and him and his mom love watching our channel. So we appreciate them as well as we appreciate all of you. But it's great when we can actually meet you out in the park at the same time. So
yeah,
please don't hesitate to come and say hi.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. Because I was surprised. I was watching the parade, and when the parade was over, they came over.
Yeah, they came to find you.
Oh my gosh! And there's certain things, and I just and I did not get the cast member's name. I was like just in such a hurry, or just like, oh wow, we're gonna do this, because I had a queue. Because I was like, oh, I'm gonna go on. I got it early in the morning, and his mom had tried and didn't get it in the morning. And then, so here's one of the things about the queues. So as of Friday, and I think that was how it was, Sunday too. I don't know if this is going to change anytime soon, but for Tiana's Bayou, right, you can get a queue at 7 a.m. from home, wherever you are. You don't have to be checked in. But for the 12 o'clock and the 4 o'clock queue, you have to be checked into the parks. you cannot hold a Tiana's Bayou virtual queue and a Haunted Mansion at the same time. So I think she may have she didn't get the Tiana, so then she ended up doing Haunted Mansion. So she had that. And we were talking and she said, oh gosh, I really wish he could go on. So I was like, well, you can have mine. And then, but they needed to go together. Right. And so a very kind cast member, I asked, and they allowed all three of us.
Oh, nice.
Together. So that was really, really nice. Cause I know, they were only here for one day. So that was great. So they got to do that, and we got to spend some time with them, and go around to just do a bunch of things. He had a beignet, so then he was his mom was saying the beignets, he'd never had one, but with all the Tiana stuff. So
very cool.
We went and had the Mickey beignets and things like that. So but yeah, it was pretty busy that night. We didn't get to ride Small World. We tried. It was like by the end of the night, I think it was 45 minutes was the wait at 11 something. So we decided ended up going to Pirates because the train. So the train's back. So we're like, in New Orleans Station opened up Friday as well. That's another big thing that opened up. So we ended up doing that, and we didn't get to do Small World. So we just did the fireworks that night. But it was a good day. I think it wasn't as crazy, because my take on it is the day of, I think there are a lot of people that avoid the park because they're like, it's going to be crazy. And then sometimes the next day, like the Saturday, is a little bit busier because plus it's the weekend. So people are able to, head to work. And then we're heading into, I think this week, Friday is the last day for, and I always forget what the pass, but the fourth pass, right? The one, this is their last week for the rest of the year.
It's the Imagine key, I think it is.
Yeah, right? So that one they're trying to get in, which that's why reservations are a little bit, tough to get right now.
Yeah.
And then I believe next week is the last week for the next tier.
Enchant.
And then Believe is kind of, they weave in and out over the next.
They're like blocked out on the Fridays and Saturdays and stuff like that, coming up to when we're all blocked out.
So, and then for us,
we're blocked out too.
I know. So the 20th of December is the last day for Inspire Key, and that blackout period runs through January 3rd. Yeah. So it's a little bit of time. But yeah, so it was a great start to the holiday season. I thought I had planned, I'm like, I'm going to do everything. I'm going to hop over to DCA and I'm going to see this and see that, because they have so much fun entertainment over at DCA. I don't think I even went to, did I go to DCA? Did we might have watched World of Color. See, now it's all a blur. Yeah, we did.
It was extremely memorable, though. Very memorable.
Yeah, that was, I know. There's so much going on. Yeah. But we did do that, and it was pretty quiet. We didn't have virtual queues, but we were able to get in, for the 10:15.
Okay.
And watch that. So that was nice. But yeah, how was Saturday once you, for the second day of holidays?
Saturday, well, I was doing basically a little bit of recon on Friday, so I was watching to see, how does Tiana's do? What is It's a Small World like? How is the lines for the parade and the waits for the parade? I was hoping that I could stay the whole day, possibly, and then, kind of start up another stream at night and maybe do World of Color, because I will watch the Christmas version of World of Color. That one I do like. But like I said, as you could see from my voice, I was not doing too well by the end of the stream. So me and Mrs. Casual kind of hung out for a couple hours. We did It's a Small World, waited over an hour for It's a Small World. Yeah, we got over there, and the wait time posted was 40 minutes, and I'm looking at it going, I don't think this is 40 minutes, because they had all of the switchbacks, and we like got in, we were like just at the beginning of all of the switchbacks. So it was like, this is going to be a little bit more than 40 minutes. And yeah, it turned out to be just over an hour.
Wow.
But like you were saying, I don't want to say underwhelming, but I felt like I was like going from place to place. But then when I realized it, I was like, we haven't done much of the Christmas stuff, because it's like a lot of it. It's like the food booths over at DCA, World of Color, a lot of evening things. Parade is in the afternoon. Santa doesn't start until 10 o'clock in the Fantasyland Theater.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like we did It's a Small World. And then we just kind of wandered around, and I realized, okay, is there not really that much to do for Christmas? If you don't want to go merch searching, if you don't want to do that whole thing. And so then we get over to DCA, and I was like, okay, there's Mickey's Happy Holidays. It's like a little, the little thing. I was like, so we'll wait for this. I tried to time it so that we're only waiting a few minutes. I think we waited about 10, 15 minutes for it. And everybody in my chat was like, oh, darn it, I blinked. I missed it, because it's so quick. I was like, yeah, I know. I turned to sneeze and it was already gone. I don't know what happened. So yeah, it was a little bit one of those things where it's like, you feel like there's a lot and you're like bouncing around going from place to place, but it really didn't feel like a lot when you step back and looked at it. I was kind of like, we did It's a Small World. We went to the Santa area. We saw the little Mickey thing, and we saw the parade. That was basically the gist of the holiday stuff that we got to see in the daytime.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find when the Coco show is at Paradise Gardens. I was looking, but then it was like, okay, I'm not even going to bother, because we don't even have time for it now, because we finished the Mickey thing at 12:15. It was like the connection at DCA was horrible, so I don't want to have to end up killing the stream. So I was like, let's just go back to Disneyland, and we went and hung out with Santa and Clarabelle for a minute. And then, I did get the Thanksgiving dinner baked potato at Troubadour Tavern.
How was it?
I'm a sucker for Thanksgiving dinner slopped on anything, and whether it's a bun, a potato on some mac and cheese, I don't care. If it's turkey stuffing, mashed potatoes, and cranberry, I'm good. And it was so funny. I think I pulverized that thing in less than 5 minutes. I mean, I was hungry at that point, because it was already like, it was going on 1:30. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I hadn't eaten all day, and I was like, trying to, kind of dealing with the sinuses. And so I got it, and it was just like, oh my God, this is so good. I mean, I showed everybody, here's the potato, like that. And then I think like maybe 5 minutes later, I showed them the empty tray. It's like, there was barely even any gravy in there, because I was like moving the potato around to sop it all up. It was just, but yeah, definitely worth, the $10 or $11 that it is with the discount, with the Magic Key discount. So I would definitely recommend it. I plan to get it again.
Do you do the Thanksmas sandwich?
The which one?
Thanksmas sandwich at Jolly Holiday?
I haven't tried it at Jolly Holiday, but I do the holiday turkey at Earl of Sandwich all the time. So
the Thanksmas sandwich is good, and then you get the chips, the house-made chips.
Okay.
That's
like I said, I'm a sucker for the. In fact, we're doing that this year for Thanksgiving, rather than having the dinner spread. We're going to just kind of put together a whole bunch of the fixings, and then have just the dinner rolls. We're going to just make sliders, and that's going to be how we have our Thanksgiving dinner.
Nice.
So,
well, I was laughing because it doesn't take you long to eat your food in the first place.
Yeah, I know that's what I was. I was telling everybody. I was like,
that thing fast. I'm like, you always devour your food fast. But that's fast. Okay.
I was telling everybody. I was like, I think Casual Junior has beaten me one time when it comes to like double. It's like he's the only one I think that's ever finished a double before me. Normally, everybody's got like half their burger left, and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. So, but we got a few more people that came in. Yeah. We've got Most Wanted. We got Donald's Fan, Peyton Edwards, Shelly Mendez, Ronnie, and EXP626, and Robola. Welcome in, everyone.
Welcome in. We got Shelly earlier? I saw Shelly, but I wasn't sure.
Shelly came in
earlier, and Cool Drummer. Good to see you all, Robola.
Yeah, and his name, Robola, la 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 la.
Yeah, la 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 la.
And Heather Jingle,
Rah, rah,
welcome
rah.
in. That's another fun one.
There we go.
Which one is that?
Heather Jingle.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love the names. So cool. Mine's easy though for Christmas. Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine took a little while to actually land on it with Jingle Park Casual.
Yeah.
I actually put that out. I was like talking with my viewers last year and trying to come up with something, and TMT put Jingle Park Casual in it, and it just kind of was like
stuck.
That one, I think that one works. So we went with Jingle Park Casual.
I don't.
Nice.
I don't think I have one yet. I don't know. They might have come up with something for me, but I can't remember.
Yeah, XP says I used to eat fast, but my body hates it now.
I eat fast too. Sometimes I'm like, wait, what did I just have?
I know.
Did I even taste it?
That's what I was telling everybody. I was like, I'd say I don't know if I tasted it, but no, it tasted good. I did taste it.
I'm glad you got to try something, because I feel like that was another thing. We ran around so much. Like literally Friday, I had Geofire and Lynn they have the coffee fritters at Royal Street Veranda.
Okay, let me write that down, because I'm going to try coffee.
He's like, coffee?
Now.
I got to write that down. What is that?
Well, there's coffee fritters, and then there's like a little coffee cake at Jolly Holiday, I think, too.
Mm-hmm.
So we did try those. Those were really good. And then the beignets. So I had a coffee fritter and a beignet.
Was there anything at the park that had extra strawberry puree? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, the strawberry beignet.
Oh, they have a strawberry. Oh yeah, I tried that. Sorry, I've already tried that one. No, I was just making my joke because every time I go to Starbucks, I always get the extra strawberry puree in my strawberry and cream frappuccino.
The cast member has to put extra 15 times.
I know. You see the receipt starts looking like a CVS receipt.
Brian Sevilla, one of the coolest things about Tiana's was the smell of beignets outside on the bridge and inside the ride. We noticed that. We were like, wait a minute. Do you smell beignets? I smell beignets out here. Like, we thought it was, is it, Tiana's area, right? The restaurant, or is it coming from the ride? But it was like right in front of the ride. So that was
pumping it in, huh?
Very smart. They need to do
I
that.
haven't noticed that at the times that I've been there, but I've like zipped through the line. So
yeah, but it was like the bridge, like as you're looking at the them coming down, it was right there, like it was coming.
Oh, at the front of the ride, not actually in the queue.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So
like I said, they're probably pumping that in.
Yeah,
actually, it would be nice if they had some beignets over there at Pooh's Corner or something like that. Or do they have the beignets over at Hungry Bear? I don't think so, though. No. See, that would be a good point too. But I'm sure they want people to go over to Tiana's. But
yeah, but what they do have, I don't think they have anything. Yeah, there's nothing over there, but at the Harbor Galley, of course, they have the new gingerbread cookies. So, everybody loves the chocolate chip cookies, but now there's the gingerbread cookies. And CL got them, and she said they were great, like better than the gingerbread person cookies.
Well, they are nice and soft. I did with the ones we got. They were cooked nicely, so they were fluffy and not like too runny. They were still nice and soft, nice and warm, with just a little bit of firmness around the edges. So I thought they were excellent. I'm not big on gingerbread, so I can't really be they're better than this one or anything. Yeah. Of course, well, Mrs. Casual, gingerbread cookies are her thing, so I made sure to order those so that when she arrived, we could go get some cookies and try them and see, what's the big deal? Are these any better than any others? And she thought they were okay. She didn't think that they were the greatest, but she didn't think they were bad. She didn't say they were bad at all. So she would be okay with getting them again. Okay.
And they have a deal. So if you, because I got my, how can I show it? Is it going to show up? Oh, see, that's the only thing with the background.
I know. There you go.
Oh.
Nope.
Hey.
There it is.
But it's so cute. So they had this available at Harbor Galley. So it was a baker's dozen, and you get it with the bucket, and it was like 39 something, the same price it is at the popcorn stand, right? Because you get popcorn with your popcorn bucket. I did not do that. I got it at Galactic Grill. I mobile ordered this and then the Mickey little drummer boy thing. But that you get water or fries, right, at Galactic Grill. But it was 36, so a little bit less.
Yeah.
Than the other ones. But that's a great deal. The if you're already going to get the bucket and you like gingerbread cookies, I think it's a great deal for $3, right? You're paying really $3 for baker's cookies. So
yeah,
just
and that's got to be one of the cuter popcorn buckets that they've done.
Oh yeah, I know. And it opens, right? You actually get like the roof opens.
Yeah, it actually functions as a bucket.
It does, and this was really cute. Like I don't know how I turned into a bucket sipper person, because
that's why I don't even start.
Little Mickey, he's so cute. How can I? My office is horrible, so I don't want to show it. But yeah, he is little drums.
Oh wow, that's cute.
Yeah, so he's a little sipper. But they had some cute the straw little clips and things like that, and the bottle toppers.
I saw the Dumbo one.
Yeah,
the Dumbo straw hook or whatever they call it.
And I think it might be, is it Stitch? There's one that lights up, like it's the one that you can put on your like the bottled water or sodas, and then you can screw that on and then it lights up. So there's some pretty neat little doodads that you can get, right, if you want to do those things. So
yeah, they still haven't come up with one as good as the Cusco poison.
I was just gonna say
that's been the only one that they've suckered me into.
And then I understand they have the Mickey elf, so the way he's little elf
right
outfit that they have.
What do you think about his outfit this year? I think last year's outfit was so much better.
It's kind of it's cute. It's cute.
Yeah, but after last year's was just so good. That's the thing that I'm having a problem with. It's like last year's was. I mean, I would have bought the outfit if they sold his Argyle sweater. I would have bought the sweater.
Jen, do you hear that? Are you out there?
I don't know. I thought that last year's outfit was much better as well, for not just Christmas, but also Halloween. I don't know what it was, but something about last year really, I liked how everything looked for the merch and whatnot. So
yeah. So it's they've got tons of stuff for people to buy, and so far it seems like they have a good supply. We'll see, but they have the elf popcorn bucket only at the Grand right now.
Okay.
Yep.
They haven't run out of anything, right? I haven't heard of any.
Not yet, but I still say get it if you want it.
Because, yeah. You never know.
Because the next couple of weeks it'll probably start disappearing.
Yeah. Some of them will start going away. I think GV559 is in the chat now.
Yeah, Jetta is also in the chat, and Sammy Bear.
And Ronnie, welcome.
My daughter was cracking up with Jetta's new name. So we were playing trivia last night, and Ariel was just cracking up. Jetta loves mashed potatoes.
I know, it makes you hungry. Mashed potatoes.
That's kind of weird though, because who doesn't love mashed potatoes?
Well, some people like mac and cheese instead.
Oh, love that too.
I was gonna say there's room for both, right?
Yeah, there is room for both.
And then ice cream.
Speaking of mac and cheese, there's a lot of mac and cheese items over at the Festival of Holidays. So keep that in mind. And let's see. I know I'm jumping around, but it's kind of as the thoughts come to me. But the parade. You got to watch the parade?
Yes. Got to see it on Saturday.
Well, I haven't seen it yet, but
no, not yet.
And from what I understand, at my viewing, the Mickey float was not part of the parade, but I believe it was the day before. So there may have been a malfunction or something happened and caused it to not be able to be used during at least the first parade on Saturday. But somebody in my chat mentioned that it was there the day before.
Yeah, it was there Saturday because we got the full. And then Sindora, she's a cast member, but she was saying, oh, keep an eye out for, they have like an invitation. There was a new or a motto, a different, something was updated with one of the floats, the one that's like a book. It's like an invitation. And now I need to go back and look at it. But there was one little slight difference. So she kind of gave us a heads up before we watched it. Something like that.
I'm going to have to go back and look and see if there's something.
I haven't seen the parade yet.
And then I believe
it's the same one from last year.
Yeah, but I believe the Green Army Men float where they're like the toys are being constructed and everything, that's missing.
Oh,
and I don't know if that's a permanent missing or if there's just a, you know, it's in the shop getting worked on and we'll be back soon. I don't know.
Well, that's a bummer.
Okay, we'll have to look out for that too. And I do know something that did change, not on the Disneyland side, but the DCA side, is the Viva Navidad is weekends only. Friday, Saturday, Sunday only, which...
What?
Yeah.
I
know.
Really cutting back on those shows.
And that was another one where I was trying to find when the show times are for stuff like that. And there was nothing in Paradise Gardens at all as far as the show time, other than like the Green Army Men or something like that. And I was like, okay, why isn't there any of the holiday stuff in the app?
It's well, so actually I think it's just Saturday and Sunday. Let me take that back. It's not Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because Friday opening day, it was not there.
Interesting.
So, and then there at the parade, I think me and Brian were talking, and then as we kind of heard this girl talk next to us, so she kept like, you know, she couldn't help herself. She's like, actually, and she was ear hustling, but she was saying, yep, Saturday and Sunday only. So just something to think of when but all the other entertainment, like all of the bands seem to have a pretty full schedule.
Well, there's another show that runs Monday through Friday then in Paradise Gardens in lieu of Viva Navidad. There's a different show, and that's what's weird. It's like they'll do one show during the week, and then on the weekends it flips to a different show.
And what is that called? Do you know?
I can't remember. I can't remember if that's the Coco show or if it's the mariachi one. But I thought the mariachi one was happening this weekend, but it may have happened today. I don't know.
And the is it like the Coco show that we had already going, like during kind of the Halloween season?
No, it's not the same show. It's a holiday, like a Christmas show.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that on the schedule either on Friday. You know, like it was very bare over there. What we did.
Yeah, so it's a musical Christmas with Mariachi Alegria to Disneyland and Miguel.
Okay. Because they had, when we crossed over to DCA Friday night, so it was like 9:50, right? Because we were going to the 10:15 show. They did have, and there were a lot of people around, so maybe Miguel was there, but they had the mariachis right there by the fountain.
Okay, so that's obviously the Coco show then. So the Coco show is Monday through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's Disney's Viva Navidad Street Party.
Okay, so that's just more of a stationary, performing.
And that one has a bunch of showings. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 showings for Viva Navidad on Saturday.
Yeah. So just a little changes here and there. So just try to check the schedule. I know when I drove in that day, they were actually passing out the Festival of Holidays little brochure. So it has, all the fun stuff in there. I haven't even had a chance to look in there in the map. So it's just always good. I mean, if you want to catch something, just make sure to check the schedules. And then also for the bands, they'll, perform different nights. So if you're looking for Fat Cat Swingers, you just got to make sure, you know, you go on the right.
Are they part of the Christmas again?
I heard they were on the calendar, but I don't know if I've seen them yet. Like I haven't seen any performances from them yet. But yeah. So I guess I wonder if they're on here. Let me see if they actually show them on the paper brochure. Or maybe they don't.
I'm doing a search on the website and nothing comes up for Fat Cat.
Yeah, someone had mentioned, I think it was Brian said they were on the calendar, but who knows? Maybe not.
But welcome in Paul M. Newitt, Adventures with Roto Commish, Lauren Campbell, and Christy Blaylock, and Christina H. Welcome in, everyone.
What else happened? The World of Color was the same, beautiful as ever. So it's okay if they didn't change anything. They can keep it just the same. But I know that they did get that upgrade to the, you know, it's much more vivid, right? The colors, just like Phantasmic got an update. So it's just, the visuals are much cleaner. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Can you think of any other holiday?
The area with Santa, what did you guys think of it? Well,
I didn't even make it there.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
Maybe I'll know on Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, actually, you better get there before 5 o'clock.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
I'll look at it when it's closed.
Yeah. Well, the entire time I was there was nothing on the stage. So I don't know how often they do the little performances on the stage portion, but I was there for probably almost an hour and there was nothing.
Interesting. Okay.
I think they started playing a Donald Duck vintage short, you know, one of the Christmas ones. But that was about it. All they had was Santa. They had Clarabelle for a meet and greet, and then Geppetto up where there's like the coloring or something like that for the kids. Oh. So that was all they had there while I was there, which I was kind of like, it's okay, I guess.
I thought it was going to be because we would see it, you know, when we were on the train and they opened it and you're like, oh wow, that looks really cool. So I thought it was going to be a little more like Pixar Fest, right? Like they were on stage. It was pretty frequent that they had the
and maybe it's going to change, or maybe I just happened to be at that, you know, one point of the day where it's like, okay, they did their early sets, you know, and there was, you know, only half an hour in between each one. Now they get their, you know, their hour and a half, 2 hour break, and then they're going to come back and, you know, for the last 2.5 hours of the day, they're there, you know, for half an hour with 15-minute breaks in between or something. I don't know, but
yeah, I mean, I know we all would probably want some sort of real show,
right?
There.
Yeah.
But
I'll say this though, the Santa setup. If you're looking for a really nice picture with Santa, go to DCA. DCA's got a much more elaborate and beautiful setup for Santa. He's got the big, like the chair is like all kinds of like roots and, you know, like vines and branches and stuff all intertwined. It just looks really cool. So, and this one, it was like a cartoon facade kind of. Okay. I was like less than impressed with
not selling me on it.
I'm just saying it's not
Bob
that big of a deal.
Not taking a picture with Santa this year.
Whoa! Don't say that. Okay.
Yeah. Don't want to end up on the naughty list, certainly.
No, right. I mean, it's good. I thought at least they made use of the space. It wasn't just like blocked off and nothing happening over there, because that's always a bummer. And I think at least if the kids, you know, because they're going to have fun over there no matter what. So if they can do some crafts and Santa's there at least, and it spreads out the crowds, right? If we can pull some people over there for a little while, parents can take a break and, you know.
Yeah, I just think if they're going to do that, they need a little bit more for the kids, because there was like almost nothing for them to do. It's like have something there for them to crawl on and run around with, you know, do something. But there was like, it's like there's the line for Santa, the line for Clarabelle, and then that's basically it.
Then you got to go to Toontown.
Yeah, and then there's like I said, the coloring or something over with Geppetto, but that was like up on that side. It's like I don't know, just I think they'd be better served just doing a stage production and even just doing a small, something that's a quick little 15-minute show, and you could do like 6 or 7 of them during the day. I think that would probably have worked better.
Well, I was curious if just because of some of the changes with the shows at DCA,
Right.
if it was budgetary, right? Like just that's a
Oh,
lot.
it's always budgetary.
Yeah, but I mean, we they even cut Navidad because there's a lot of people involved in that versus the mariachi.
Yeah, that's such a beloved show. I'm surprised they're only doing weekends, and it's kind of disappointing to hear that because, to me, that's one of those shows where you want to see it, and well,
yeah, because that would be the one you're like, okay, let me just get there for that last show, whatever it was at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, whatever the last show was when it got dark. But you always there was hope that you could see it during the week after work possibly. So yeah, that I was a little disappointed because that's always a tough one to catch anyways, and it gets really busy. That's a popular one.
Yeah, and there's that one. It doesn't have a lot of great viewing spots. It's like there's it's very tight in the good viewing areas. It's like you can only get about 2 or 3 people deep because of where it's positioned. So yeah, it's tough to get a great spot. And then if you're streaming it, you got to worry about the connection happening. It's like you're in a good spot, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I know, but it's gone.
Right. Yeah. So still a lot to do, but those are just some of those slight changes that we've seen so far. We're just in the first few days, so we'll report back in a couple of weeks. How it's going, but
well, don't forget. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I said still a lot to do.
Yes. Well, hand pulled candy canes, right?
Yes.
Got to get those. Make sure you check out when they're available and the dates so you can apply for them because there are only a handful. Well, there's more than a handful, but you only have they only have so many they make every day that they give out. So, but what I think is great about Disneyland is that Walt really loved Christmas, and ever since the park opened in 1955, it's been inundated with different type of traditions from the pulled candy canes. They don't have it anymore, but they had that Christmas bowl where the bandstand would originally play next to the train station there in the center circle where the flag is. Let's see, they had Holiday Time at Disneyland, which was a television show, and they still have the television shows they do every year. Obviously the parades, I think the first parades featured the Disneyland band and atmospheric groups of the band walking down Main Street, and it's obviously evolved to add floats over the years and characters and stuff. You got the Believe in Holiday Magic. I mean, the nighttime fireworks show that they have with the magic snow is just amazing, especially when you smell the Snope and it's got that gingerbread. Obviously the Christmas Fantasy Parade is what they have now. The candlelight ceremony, of course, it was held in 1958. Had 16 choirs performing at the base of the Sleeping Beauty Castle. Obviously, it started, over there. It worked its way back to the train station, and it's kind of been all over the place and back to the train station again, Main Street, USA. But it's amazing seeing those choirs come all the way down from the castle to Main Street, USA to do their processional. And I know that it's kind of for streamers, it's a long day, especially if you plan on standing there trying to get a good shot for your stream. Although the connection was terrible last year.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful and it's amazing that if you can watch it. And the great thing about Disneyland is they never tell you who the person's going to be for the two two shows they're going to do for each night. But at Walt Disney World, they have a lot of celebrities that they announce way ahead in advance. So it's always a treat to find out who's it going to be at the last minute for that event. But yeah, there's some amazing things that happen at the park. And like Cordy said, we've only touched base on some of this stuff. So we'll be talking about more of it. But I love all the stuff that they do at Disneyland for Christmas.
I do too. No matter what, it's just beautiful.
Yeah, the fireworks is one of my favorite shows that they've ever done for the fireworks. It's probably, if not top 2, top 3 easily. It's just such a fantastic little show.
Mm-hmm. It's just something funny Brian had posted, because I saw this Friday, because
Yeah.
So even in our own little group, I looked down, I'm like, what in the world? Kevin's got it up and we're all watching it.
I hate to say it, but the fireworks are probably a lot better than the fight.
Oh yeah.
I would have to agree. But yeah, the candy canes are coming up, and you have to be really strategic with those, because it's and I think they said they're going to switch back and forth. Like, they didn't commit to just virtual, right, kind of cue thing or wristbands. It was like, oh, it could be this or it could be this.
Oh wow.
So kind of
I thought they were just doing the virtual. No, they're doing both.
When I read it when it first came out, it was saying it was, could be either, but maybe things change. So they're $19.99 this year, and then they alternate between the parks starting on November 30th. Yeah, so it'll go back and forth. Oh, November 29th is the first day, and then they'll go back and forth. Disneyland, DCA, Disneyland, DCA.
Right. And for anybody that's in Southern California, if you don't get your Disneyland candy canes, you could also go to Logan's Candies in Ontario, and they do hand-pulled fresh candy canes. And if you get there, if you can book a time to see them doing it, you will get literally, like, right when it's made, fresh candy cane handed to you. And it is, you have not had a candy cane until you have one that is, like, literally freshly done and pulled right then and there. It's otherworldly. And I'm not even big on candy canes, but it was just like, holy mackerel, that's amazing.
Sounds like a good stream during blackout time.
Possibly. Well, I'll have to see if they're still doing them. But they book up fast because they are very popular.
One thing to remember, so we were coming back from Big Bear and from Lake Arrowhead last winter. And when we came home, we decided to stop at Logan's in Ontario. And we had not signed up for the candy canes. But you can actually watch them, and they'll do the whole demonstration in front of you. But if you want the candy cane fresh and you want to be part of the experience of, pulling them or helping make them, then yeah, you definitely want to make a reservation for that. But yeah, it's amazing, and they sell through their candy canes fast, and they sell everything from, the little, I don't know what they're called, but they're like the little square pillow ones. You got the regular cane shaped ones. Yeah, the pillow ones I love too. They do, and they don't just do, regular peppermint. It's pina colada and spearmint and all sorts of, different flavors. I think they had a cotton candy one. They had a raspberry one. So it's really, really cool. I didn't hear anything about after fresh candy cane. That's hilarious. Shelly says, I absolutely love Logan's. They are amazing. They're so delish. The ribbon candy is yummy. Yes, the ribbon candy is very good. So just so you know, you've probably seen it on our pages. I know I posted it. I think Theme Park Casuals posted it. But when you go there, it's not a very big shop. So just know that, because you go in there and it's pretty tight sometimes, especially if you want to see one of the demonstrations. So like Theme Park Casual said, if you do want to go and see it and you do want to be part of it and get some of those fresh candy canes, you can definitely sign up. And I think it's like, is it like $5 or something like that to sign up?
Yeah, $5 to reserve a spot, and you do get samples at the end of the demonstration.
But you don't have to, like I said, but it's always, let's just say I spend a lot of money at that place when I walked out of there.
I like the rewrite of the song. If you like pina coladas, you call them candy cane. Nice, Alan.
That's funny.
Samples. Do they do samples?
They do.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they do samples. Yeah, they'll give you samples. Yeah, so So reservations. So here's the thing. I didn't make a reservation, but they let us stay and watch the whole demo of how they make the candy canes. But then once they had, gotten the mixture together and pulled it and everything, then if you wanted to be a part of it and help, form the candy canes and stuff like that, you have to pay to be a part of that. But you can actually watch the demo, and it's free. It's really, really cool. So. Yep. Oh, there Shelly says no, and the marble slab has been used since the day it opened, and the hook they use is an original as well. I love the stories, and yes, they do samples. Yeah, and it's so great too because the owner of the shop, he is amazing. I love his stories too. And you can go on never advertising them, but you can go to YouTube and you check out their channel or Instagram. You can see all their videos. They usually do short videos and whatnot, showing how they make the candy, which is really, really good.
Yep.
Probably need to go see your dentist after that.
Slim says,
well, that's pretty good.
Oh, thank you, Mike. Mike
Thanks,
posted the dates.
Oh, it's funny. I actually, and here's the funny thing. I actually had it ready to go, and I didn't. Here we go. I actually had this screen up to show everyone, and I didn't do that. So, but here it shows the dates too. So at Disneyland, Candy Palace and Candy Kitchen, 11/29, 12/1, 12/3, 6/8, and then you can see down below it switches with Disney's California Adventure trolley treats, like Cordy was talking about. So 11:30, 12/2, 12/4, etc. And it says right here wristbands or mobile wait list. So you're right, Cordy. For a chance to purchase one of the candy canes this year, wristband or mobile wait list system will be used as quantities are very limited. If the wait list is activated, you can use your name and your phone number at the location to receive a text back with a time to return to this location for the opportunity to purchase your candy cane while supplies last. And you can go to Disneyland.com for more details. So
and
there you go.
Be there at that time. Like they're like, if you don't come back by that time, you lose your slot. And then
now, are these candy canes that are actually made that day?
I believe so. I think that's why they switch off the.
Okay, because I know a couple of years ago they were freshly made, but they were made like a couple months early.
Yeah, I think they were doing that, but my understanding is that they're supposed to be fresh. So
because last year they were in the window making them, like you could see them making them at Candy Palace.
Yeah, but how many they make, like 100 a day or something like that? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, that's why I was curious.
It was much easier to get one. Like I think I waited 2 weeks in after it started, and then I had no problem. Like I walked up, I didn't have to do anything. It was just like, oh yeah, we have some.
So Alan's got that song in my head now. If you like peanuts,
I know we're talking.
I'm pulling candy canes. Mm-hmm. That's funny.
Yeah, no, they're good. I remember I got two. I got why did I get two? Well, anyways, and I had them in a bag, and I had my gimbal, and it was the one time I didn't see the princesses, but I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wait in line and meet the princesses. No, drop the bag.
No.
One of the candy canes right after I bought it.
Ugh.
Oh no. Well, the good news is you can only smash it up and put it in your hot cocoa. There you go.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It did not go to waste.
Mm-hmm.
Says Geofire says. Oh, sorry, we both did. Did not speak for this year, but in years past, they are made that morning fresh, as they should. Okay. Let's see. Do we have anything else there? And I wanted, since we're talking about food and Geofire, I wanted to share this with you because I don't know if you noticed this. I was so one of the content creators that that Disney kind of invites out, Michael Does Diz. Is it Michael Does Diz or Disney? He was saying that they have two versions of the gingerbread Mickeys, the cookies that everybody gets. So I remember last year they were the same cookie, but everybody was saying it costs a little more at the Grand for some reason, but it was the same cookie. This year, supposedly it's 2 different cookies. So they're $10 at the Grand, and they have like the little red button on the front. And then the ones that they have in the parks, they're like stars instead of buttons down the front. And I'm hearing that there's definitely a difference in the way that they taste. So not as good. Yeah.
So since I haven't been there at the park, can we talk about a little merch? Is there any merch that's like stood out to you that's amazing this year, or that you really, really like or love or need to get? Oh, see, theme park casual. He didn't like that subject. He took off.
He's like, I'm out of here. Merch.
I haven't seen anything that has pushed me to buy. The gingerbread house popcorn bucket is about as close as they've gotten to get me to buy something, because I thought that was, it's cute. It's something that you could use as a decoration somewhere, or even a functional little bucket. So that one is about as close as they've gotten for me. I do like, I've mentioned before, I like the pattern with the string of lights on the green one. Yeah. I do like that pattern, but the way they've applied it on different items, I'm kind of like, it doesn't work for me anymore. So
Jetta says the red velour Spirit jersey looks nice, but it's $99. I know. What's up with Spirit jerseys this year? They went from $69 to $79 this year. Now they're up to $89, and if you want the special Christmas ones, they're $99. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, Spirit jersey is kind of cool, but they're not real. I mean, they're not soft and comfortable inside as I like them to be,
and they're not flattering.
No, they're not flattering at all. And
I think that's part of the point of them, is that
I know Spirit jersey.
It makes everybody look the same.
Yeah, but my whole thing is, how do you justify? They were already high priced to me at $70. $69.99, and then you charge $79.99, and now it's like $89.99, and if you want this Christmas one, it's $99. I'm like, really, $10 more for the Christmas ones? Ay.
Yeah, there hasn't really been, nothing that I was like, oh, I really want that. There's like cute. Okay, I will say, let me say this, and then seeing Rabola wear it, he has the Stitch sweater with the Christmas lights on it that light up.
Yeah, that is cool.
That's pretty cool.
I like that one. I actually bought the one last year where Stitch is in the little spaceship. I have that sweater. And then they come out with a new one this year. I'm like, really? I like this one better. So
yeah, that was pretty cool. I got the red ears, which are not technically Christmas, I don't think, but they came out with the red, like Dorothy, Wizard of Oz ears, I like to call them. But they're great for Christmas because you get your red, which we don't get a lot of.
I know, turn it inside out.
What team are you
on?
The
soft side inside out, so that the ugly side's on the outside is not as soft. There we go.
That's funny.
That is too
funny. All right, just real quick. Peyton Edwards had reminded us that there's also the Encanto show that they do, and it's Mirabelle's Gifts of the Season, and that one plays in, I believe, in Paradise Gardens over near there. Right across, right in that same area where the Coco show usually takes place, right in front of Goofy Sky School and Jumping Jellyfish, right in that little area. It was $85. Wow.
I know, $85.
So there was Mirabelle's, and then there was also Story Time with Deadpool Holiday Special. Yes. Has anybody gone to check that one out?
Ouch.
No.
I'll try and do thumbs up.
But I saw
no.
Oh God.
I saw someone's video, and Wolverine does come out again for that one. And then Deadpool does ride off on the unicorn.
Okay.
From there.
So there's a couple more items for holiday, and those are both at DCA. And interesting enough, Redwood Creek Challenge Trail welcomes Santa, runs from 9 a.m. to 7:45 p.m. That's a long day. Yeah. So you've got a much better chance of getting your photo with Santa DCA at the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail.
Wow. So Jedi asks, I wonder how you wash that with lights.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's, I've bought jackets for Disneyland. I actually have a Main Street Electrical Parade one that has lights, but they make it so you can wash it. You just detach where the battery connects and whatnot.
Right.
So,
and welcome in Pam Epson.
I was going to say there's a lot of bands at DCA. I mean, I think they're alternating, right? Like different nights, but there's like a much larger list of bands that are performing at DCA this year. So,
well, that's good because they need some entertainment.
Wow, yeah. Look, I'm looking at it right here. There's Ronabir Lahiri.
New names, right? Where you're like
the Dreamboats, the Hive, Tapua, and Yalestrom and Hot Pastrami.
Okay. Some of those names I've never heard of, and some
I've never heard of those names, but I'm pretty sure I saw that Mostly Kosher is going to be back.
Yes, they performed all weekend.
So,
which I missed, but yeah. And then they have they performed on Saturday, which I was bummed I couldn't go Saturday, but this year we have Malaya Filipino American Dance Arts, so just bringing a little more culture in. So they're performing, I think they did Saturday, and then it's Tuesday, December 3rd and 10th or something. So I need to catch that. But I feel like Disneyland, of course, you get the fireworks and the parade, but DCA, in my opinion, has always been such a great place to hang out during the holidays because
festivals,
so many, so much entertainment over there, which is
once evening hits at Disneyland, you're waiting for Fantasmic or the fireworks. That's it.
Right.
It's true.
But we do have another park that is doing Christmas as well.
Yes.
That actually, let me show this real quick because I love this. It's almost like they talk to me for my channel, but have a very Merry Christmas. Yeah, I love when they do Christmas time at Knott's Berry Farm. And you know what's neat is they do everything kind of just old-fashioned white lights. They don't do a bunch of different colors or anything like that. But when they do the show and they actually have, the nighttime with the snow, which I just forgot what it's called, but we'll see in a moment here. It's so neat because, thank you, Snow Globe. It's so cool because they put the lights to the music, and it's a lot of fun. So this is November 22nd. It doesn't start till this Friday, January 5th. I am going to try to go there with my family, possibly after my daughter's out of school, my wife's off work. But I'd like to be there for opening night. Most everything doesn't start till later in the afternoon. But it is going from November 22nd to January 5th. Obviously, they have some daily tickets as low as $59.99. They have a Merry Farm dining bundle that includes all-day dining for $77.99 and a bring a friend ticket for only $50, which is pretty good. That's a lot cheaper than Disney. Of course, who can forget the live entertainment? Because we were just talking about shows at Disneyland, and they have some really awesome live holiday shows. Like the Snoopy's Night Before Christmas Ice Show is amazing. So you guys definitely want to check that. Yeah, fantastic. It's ever since they redid the show, or the whatchamacallit, they redid the inside of the theater for the show, and they added the new screens and whatnot. Oh, it's just so amazing to watch. 'Tis the season tree lighting ceremony, which is always great. Every single night at sundown, they do a Christmas tree lighting with some carolers, which is really cool. And then they have Home for the Holidays again this year. The Snow and Glow. Again, the Snow and Glow, you got to go to Ghost Town. And when they do the Snow and Glow, they have the music from Home Alone. Actually, they have a narrator that comes on and talks about, family time and the season. And then they play, Somewhere in My Memory from Home Alone, which is, gets right to your heart there. And then, of course, they play a little jingle afterwards with lights and
that's when it kicks into like the more party type of atmosphere. Yes. And that's what I actually like about Knott's is they give you the emotional, the feels, all this stuff. They have the snow, and then it brings it up, and you just start seeing all the families, all the kids, everybody laughing at each other because they just pound you with snow there. The snow is
It's
like
not like
piling up
Disneyland.
on people. And it gets to be so hilarious, and everybody starts having a good time. And it's like you may not know the family next to you, but you turn and look, and the lady's got this big old clump of snow on her head, and so you're laughing with everybody. It just it really works. It really works, and that's why I've said I think Knott's Snope show, if you will, is my favorite.
Yeah, it. Don't get me wrong. Disney is magical too, but when you're there experiencing snow and glow, which I hope I'm able to stream it for you guys on Friday, and if not, you'll be seeing one of our streams of the snow and glow. But it's a magical moment, and it really pulls at your heartstrings and gets you into the spirit and into the mood. And again, like my daughter, there's so much snow coming down. I mean, she started playing with it like it's real snow, and it's like, whoa. But also we've got Adelaide Pilar. She's a Latin Caribbean, New York salsa, and current American Top 40 songs, but with a Latin band. And that's on the Fiesta Plaza stage. You've got the Calico Christmas Carol or the Gift of the Magi. They switch off doing those two plays at the Birdcage Theater, which is always a classic and always fun to do. They also have the Bluegrass Duo at the Fireman's Barbecue. You got the Calico Carolers that walk around Calico singing carols, which is awesome. Love it. And then one of the bands they don't show here, obviously, that is always fun to see is Crazy Kirk and the Hillbillies.
Yep. And they will be playing, it looks like, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Mm-hmm. And then they do have some amazing experiences and activities. So you can do certain things like you can go to Santa's Christmas Cabin, which is showing it right here. This is inside the Red Barn at Knott's Merry Farm. And you can grab holiday photos with Santa Claus and friends, but you can also try an array of all sorts of different holiday treats, from drinks to cookies, etc. They
don't get the fry bread. Don't get the fry bread. Whatever you do, don't get the fry bread. People yell at you.
We learned that last year.
Yeah. I know. God, I'm trying to build it, and you're like, don't get the fry bread.
Traumatic. It was traumatic.
Yeah, the fry bread wasn't that great. So you're right. But one of the things I love there, and I'm not a big, huge peppermint person, but I love when they take the hot cocoa and they crush the candy canes up and they put it into your hot cocoa. Oh, it's so good. And usually what they do, just so you know, if you're not familiar, they do sell the cups. They're good for the season. Of course, it's only good from November 22nd to January 6th. And so basically you can get unlimited hot cocoa in that cup, which is really, really cool for the season. But you need to make sure you do it a lot. And of course, you got Mrs. Claus Kitchen. You can decorate Christmas cookies with a family. Obviously, that costs a little bit extra. And you can also head over to Gold Mine Trail, where you can find a festive retreat. That Gold Mine Trail is where you walk past Ghost Rider, and it heads over to where the haunted mazes are in the back area there. For Not Scary Farm, you'll find a festive retreat with seasonal bites to eat, tasty drinks, photo opportunities. Some of those things will include the Christmas Crafts Village, the Merry Farm seasonal dining options, Mrs. Claus Kitchen, which we talked about, and of course Santa's Christmas Cabin. I love Santa's Christmas Cabin. That thing is so cool. That's the Red Barn I'm talking about. Yeah, but it's just so much fun to go in there.
And there's sometimes, I think it's usually early in the morning, like when they first open, you'll have Santa Snoopy. So
yes,
it's not just Santa, it's Snoopy dressed in Santa outfit. So you can get a picture with the Santa Beagle.
And then they have, as we all know, they have a ton of food, whether it's, Boysenberry Festival to Knott's Merry Farm. I mean, they have a ton of dining options. Ghost Town Bakery always has an array of, like, this year they got Black Forest brownies, Christmas Snoopy cookies and cupcakes, chocolate chip pumpkin bars. I mean, they have a ton of stuff to get. On Gold Mine Trail, you can find pretzels, chili cheese footlongs this year. Ooh, look at that. That's a huge hot dog, by the way. That looks like a small bun. Cinnamon sugar churros. Oh, who doesn't like churros? as well as our turkey ball on a bed of mashed potatoes and gravy, and crispy Brussels sprouts. If you love Brussels sprouts, I mean they got a lot there.
As usual with the food stuff, I just like Disney, Knott's can be hit and miss. There's the ones that are just amazing, and it's like you got to try it, and other ones where it's like might want to skip this one maybe.
Yeah,
like the fry bread.
Boy, really hitting that fry bread there. But over in Grizzly Creek Lodge, and he's right, Danny's right. There's times when you get stuff and it's like that's amazing. The other times you're like, it wasn't.
Definitely check out some of your favorite, any of the streamers that you normally agree with. I check them to see if they've done a review on some of the items and see which ones they recommend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like mini. I love pretzels, but mini pretzel pigs in a blanket wouldn't be my top thing to get. Pumpkin honey bun cakes, that might be pretty good. Muddy Buddy Rice Krispie treats, and Prop Shop Pizzeria. They're going to have a let's see, what is it? Smorgasbords of unique slices, including the birria pizza and our chorizo, mushroom, and Alfredo ravioli pie, as well as delectable treats like pistachio orange cookies and Black Forest brownies. Black Forest brownies sounds good. Santa's Christmas Cabin, they're going to have beef or potato empanadas, their signature turkey ball with mashed potatoes and gravy, and crispy Brussels sprouts, the bacon and Gouda mac and cheese, and a stocking full of sweet treats, including pumpkin pecan cobbler with vanilla ice cream, pumpkin whoopie pies, and gingerbread hot chocolate. Ooh, that's new this year. Gingerbread hot chocolate. Check that out. And of course, they have other things at Boardwalk Barbecue, like the classic turkey sandwich with all the trimmings for the holidays. Calico Tater Bites is going to have a Philly cheesesteak loaded tater tots. Chow House is going to have a fall apple lemonade. That sounds good, actually. Ginger molasses cookies. Oh, Cookie Witch, sorry. Cable Call Kitchen is going to have the carrot cake funnel cake, loaded churro, and caramel apple funnel cake. Ooh, that sounds good. Tiramisu funnel cake. Ooh. Baja Taqueria is going to have a red and green I can't even say it now. Come on. Chilaquiles. I can't say it right. Say it for me. Okay, anyhow. With beef, barbacoa, and scrambled eggs. That sounds weird. Sutter's Grill is going to have glazed ham, cheddar cheese, and cranberry aloe burger. And I think that's it. So there's a lot of things to choose from food-wise as well. And then, of course, they're going to have, your Mary Farm rides. You can stay at the, newly renovated hotel that's there. Obviously, they've got, now this is something I'm bummed about. I don't know if you did this, guys, but I forgot to reserve
I did too.
Official Knott's Mary Farm.
Every dang year I forget. Every year.
You did last year too?
Yeah.
Oh, oops. Well, I forgot to reserve the annual pass holder ornament. So, that ornament is so cool, and I'm so sad that we missed out on the ornament this year. But they do have a lot of great ornaments there. So don't forget to check out, Knott's Merry Farm. It's a very Merry Christmas time.
And before we move on, just wanted to make sure we had a few people that came in while we were talking about Knott. So welcome in Sammy Bear. We've got Navy Sean. Hello. Mr. Pete McDevitt is in the chat here tonight.
Oh, he did.
And Marina
is here. Wendy, hello. Did I miss anybody?
I know. And just to FY, since Pete's in the chat here, some of us got nominated for the Park Palace 2024 Hall of Fame. And I just wanted to say it's truly cool to see some of the people from California being nominated from that. I know that Donnyland and let's see, Main Street Cowgirl, myself, Coda, Pops, Disney Adventures, several people here in California got nominated for it. And so kudos to everyone for the nominations, and we'll see December 7th who gets picked to be part of that Park Palace Hall of Fame. So, and he says right there, congrats to Cordy, Bob, and Danny for being nominated. So,
wow, wonderful. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you.
All right.
If you guys don't know what that is, you need to go to Pete McDevitt's channel and check it out. It's a special thing they do for the community surrounding the Disney content creators and things. And it's not just content creators; it's people that are in the chat and supporters of as we call them here, streamer support.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's
more than just the content creators. It goes out to everybody who is part of the community and has made an impact and has made their impact felt in positive ways.
Yep. So this is the stream that they had on Saturday. So you can go back and see it and see all the people who were nominated. And also they showed the Park Pals 2024 pin. So if you get nominated and you win, you get to get this awesome pin. And look at all the different Disney characters on this pin. And not only that, my favorite thing about the pin is the fact that it has the Epcot circle behind it, which is so cool looking. I like that. I love that.
Oh yeah, that's very cool.
It is very cool. So more to come on that on December 7th, everyone. So Pete, thanks again. And by the way, he didn't nominate us. It's all the people who currently are part of the Hall of Fame, which I think is 252 people or something like that. They all vote. And if you get 2 votes or more, you get nominated. And then from those nominees, they pick, I think the people who get the most votes or something like that get inducted into the Hall of Fame. And this is the 9th year that they're doing it. So pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love just it just kind of brings because it's like we kind of get. I mean, I know that you guys do a lot of things on the East Coast, right, with other channels and such, but like you kind of get siloed a little bit, West Coast and then East Coast. It's nice to kind of bring the community together overall. So.
Well, not only that, but Pete was saying that there are more nominees for the West Coast this year than there ever have been before. And I think it's great because obviously, we have so many great streamers in our community here. And just, if I miss someone, I apologize, but, we got Rob Ola and Donnyland. We've got all 3 of us. We've got, who else? We got, see, I'm already forgetting people. We got Main Street Cowgirl. Yeah, exactly. There's Kevin Sue Magic. I mean, there's so many people who are great in this community, and it's the fact that we're all trying to do something fun and cool. We're always trying to build the community up, and then you've got Danny out there who's doing charity. He's raising money for charity and stuff, and we're going to be doing something soon that we're going to tell you guys all about, so we can help raise either some toys or money for less fortunate families, and we're going to do that for Christmas. And then we got our chalk walk that we're going to do next year. That's going to be even more amazing than it was this past year. So we're doing a lot of great things, and we love being part of community. It's not just about going to the parks and streaming and showing you guys what we're doing and eating and riding and stuff like that. You guys help us make our channels, and we appreciate that. But there's a lot more to it than that, and we appreciate you guys supporting us and what we're doing. So thank you.
Yeah, what Bob said.
Yes.
Thank you, Rob.
Yes, thank you, Rob Ola. I know I'm saving some questions. I think we've all popped a few in there for later. So,
Ryan says it's not just about eating. LOL.
Who says?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Sorry, I missed the wrong one here. So EXP says, I want to join the chalk walk. We're going to be talking about the chalk walk after the first of the year, so we'll definitely let you know how you can participate and join in. So
yeah, I'm already hyped for chalk walk. I can't wait. It was so amazing last year with everybody, and I'm hoping next year will be even bigger and better and more amazing and more fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Tom F just reminded me he needs the file for the Park Streamers logo for that project. So Tom F is something special for us for the chalk walk. We're not going to tell you what it is, but he is working on something really, really cool. It's going to be amazing for the chalk walk, and we can't wait to tell you guys more about it.
And Tom, I will send you the vector artwork.
Well, I think Well, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Food is literally our existence. I think that's like your existence. So
Yes.
like every chance he gets, like, oh, I tried that food. I'm like, how do you stay so skinny? I don't get it. He eats food like crazy.
At Donnyland, welcome in.
Thank you so much for everything at Pete McDevitt Show and Park Streamers Hangout. We love you all so much. We love you back.
Yes.
We do.
And we've got a new crazy hat coming soon. So
that's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see that one.
That's awesome. Well, just quickly, just wanted to touch on it quickly because it was something, since we're talking about knots.
Oh, yeah.
And we all kind of caught it live. We were all chatting in Instagram. It was entertaining.
Who stopped the rain?
Oh boy. So today it was funny because I live right next to Knott's Berry Farm, and there was a ton of helicopters flying over. In fact, it was funny because the Ring doorbell app is going off, and I was like, why are there so many helicopters flying over Knott's Berry Farm? I'm like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden, people started reporting it in our chats that the ride called Soul Spin over at Knott's Berry Farm actually broke down. And so it broke down around 2 p.m. this afternoon, and they actually didn't get it down to the ground. And this is the ride we're talking about right here. They didn't get it back down to the ground for 2.5 hours to get the riders off. Now, I don't know about you. I love this ride, and so does my daughter. But thankfully, no one was upside down on this ride. But you can see, look at this person right here. Look at their legs hanging off. That's a really awkward position to be sitting for about 2.5 hours in that seat. If you're sitting here in this area, it's not too uncomfortable for you. But if you're sitting here or down here or even up here or down here, yeah, that probably wasn't too comfortable for 2.5 hours. But they were able to get the ride. They were able to crank it down. Get it down. There's 22 riders that were trapped. One person did have to be wheeled off in a wheelchair, but apparently there were no major injuries or anything like that. But the fire department did show up, but Knott's Berry Farm mechanics were able to take care of the situation themselves. And fire department just stood by, and that's what happened today. So it's unfortunate. Now, one of the crazy things is I was telling the group that the ride that used to be there before this one was called Windjammer, and no, Windseeker. Sorry, it was called Windseeker, and Windseeker was a 301 foot tall swing, and basically it took you all the way up. It was higher than Supreme Scream. You twirl around and you come back down. Well, unfortunately, that ride broke down, and it was down for I think more than 4.5, somewhere between 4.5 to 6 hours long, and you always hope that you go to the bathroom before you go on the rides, but if you don't and you get stuck on the ride, well, that's another thing. So unfortunately, we were talking about some unfortunate events that happened during that one. The funny thing is, I thought, well, they're getting rid of Windseeker and they're going to put something new in that won't do something like that, and here this ride breaks down, so maybe it's just this area is jinxed. But funny enough, that new ride the old ride that they have, it's now called Steelhawk, and it's over at Worlds of Fun. So I thought they actually scrapped the ride, but they actually sold it to another theme park in Kansas City, Missouri, and that's where it's located now. So if you want to go on a ride that you might get stuck on, hey, head over to Worlds of Fun over there in Kansas City. Okay, I thought it was funny.
Moral of the story: BRB before you go on.
Before you go on a ride.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been on Soul Spin. So
you haven't? Oh, you got to go now, man. Especially now that it broke down. Whew.
Yeah.
He's like, no. It's definitely one of those rides where you're like, you either really like it or you're like, I don't think I want to go on that again, because it does kind of move you around and spin you, and it's you got to be not afraid of spinning rides. It's not super fast. It just spins and then flops you around in a couple different ways. So
yeah, I don't know if that's for me anymore.
Knott should bring back Riptide. Oh my goodness.
Which one was Riptide?
Riptide was the one that was over by where Hang Time is now.
Oh, that's right. The one that would flip.
It would flip. and put you right above the water. So that was kind of cool. No, if they bring anything back to that park, they need to bring back something like the Wacky Soapbox Racers, or just bring back the original Knott's Berry Tales. Thank you. Mm-hmm. What do you say?
I think Soapbox Racers would be a massive hit if they brought something like that back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. It says, if you are new, all 3 of the park streamers hang out live streams from the park. They're quality content creators, so make sure you subscribe to all 3 so you never miss any of the park magic. Thank you, Pete.
Thank you, Pete.
Yeah, thanks, Pete.
Tamara's like, I would definitely. Oh no, she says, "I'd no way I would go on that ride." And Linda Lou says, "Soapbox cars, I'm down for." Yes.
Yeah.
Christy wants to know, TPC, what's wrong with the fried bread you so detested so much?
All right, so last year we did the fry bread at Knott's Berry Farm in Santa's Christmas cabin, and I've never had fry bread, so I had no idea what I was getting or dealing with or whatever. So I get the fry bread, and I sit down, and some lady comes up to me and says, "You should not even bother eating that. It is horrible. That is not how fry bread is supposed to be. Mine was so bad, I had to go and give it back and made them give me my money back." And well, it starts just basically telling me that I am going to just, ruin my life by eating this fry bread, basically. And it was just like the most random thing. I'm sitting there in the stream, and I think I had the camera on me. And so everybody's just seeing this, basically me just looking up and going, okay. And then, as it turns out, when I had the fry bread, it was like hard as a rock. I was like having to crack it, and it was just, and everybody in the chat is like, "No, that's not how fry bread is supposed to be. We'll make you some fry bread. We'll give you a good recipe for fry bread." And so the fry bread is just, infamous that, if I'm ever having fry bread, it's going to have to be proper fry bread from now on. I'm not going to put up with any of this theme parky pseudo fry bread. So I got berated by some lady saying that the fry bread was a waste of money and that I should just go and take it back right then and there. So and that's why the fry bread has scarred me. And until somebody makes me a nice proper fry bread, I'm just like going to avoid fry bread.
But see, that's not usually the case. Usually it's not that bad. I mean,
right. That's what I mean,
Yeah. I mean, usually the food's really good there at Knott's. Sometimes you get some things that are not so great. That's always the case, even at Disneyland. Did she knock the fried bread out of TPC's hand? Don't eat that.
I'm half surprised she didn't. I'm surprised she didn't just like grab my plate and say, "Honey, I can't let you eat this. I'm going to take it back for you. We're going to get your money back."
Oh, geez.
It's not floor fry bread. I can't even say that. Ooh, that's a tongue twister. Floor fry bread. Devin,
floor fry bread.
I think it'd be fun just to watch Theme Park Casual do his live stream where he eats something else he doesn't like.
Well, Trish sent me a recipe for fry bread, so maybe that'll be one of the between blockout streams. It'll be me making fry bread.
Welcome, Cassandra.
Hey, Cassandra, welcome in.
Cassandra.
Well,
I know it.
Let's see. We had a comment here I thought we should bring up, and it's that's not it. Sorry. I unstarted by accident. Where'd it go? Hold on one sec.
Noah James, welcome in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would be a good transition to talk about where'd it go? Hold on. Can't believe I started and unstarted. Well, I'm just going to say it then because I can't find it right offhand. Watch, I'll find it right now. And no. So Christy was saying that, here it is. I will always and forever miss Splash Mountain. Well, it's gone now, and we do have Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and it did open on Friday. to not much ado, kind of because of that day, but it seemed like it was okay over the weekend. So should we talk about that? Because now Theme Park Casual has actually gotten to ride that thing.
Yep, I finally got to go on it. I've been on it, I think, 4 times now. On Saturday, I was able to do a back-to-back riding of it because Mrs. Casual does not go on that ride. So since she had a reservation, I was able to get 2 virtual queues and be able to use them back-to-back. For me, it's a cute ride, but I think it would have been better served as a new ride, a new dark ride or something, rather than trying to fill the shoes of Splash Mountain. It's the way I view it is Splash Mountain was often in the discussion if you're talking, top 5 attractions ever created. I don't think Tiana's will be part of that discussion. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
I was going to say, did we freeze? I mean,
I'm like, well,
I'm waiting for Sammy Bear to comment because Sammy Bear, it's a.
I'm not saying that you can't like it, and there's going to be people that absolutely love it.
No, I know. I was kidding. I thought she was going to comment. I was waiting for like the.
I'm perfectly fine with people who like it. I don't, I'm not going to try to convince somebody that no, you're wrong for liking it. It's, to my taste and the way I view it, it's just, it's so different. And I'll say it about just about every single attraction that has been, a re-theme. They are always a downgrade. I have always viewed them as a downgrade. The only one that I don't view it as a downgrade is going from Superstar Limo to Monsters, Inc. Other than that, true. Anytime I've seen, a re-theme or, something like that, even Guardians, as fun as Guardians is, I still think it's a downgrade compared to Tower of Terror. Even though it's a fun ride, I just, the exterior looks atrocious to me and the show scenes are forgettable compared to Tower of Terror, but it's a fun ride. I get why people enjoy it. So it is what it is. For me, I view things from a different angle sometimes than most people. And, for me, re-themes are very, very difficult for them to nail it simply because they're constrained from the get-go with either the ride system or the building or something like that. And that's just not the best way to create a brand new attraction,
Well, speaking of ride system, that thing had a few issues on opening day, which is kind of a bummer because, obviously they've been building it up and they've been doing the previews and everything. And it opened up with, it was down for most of the day.
Yeah.
And it was disappointing to see because you would hope that, with all the fanfare and everything they were doing, it was going to be, better. And like you guys were saying, I think earlier, I think it would have been better if they actually had done the preview, not the preview, but what is that? The show. What do they do? What was it called? I can't think of it. The night before.
Media night. The media night.
I think they should have done the media night another night. Maybe not right the night before or something like that.
Well, they usually do it like that. They usually do it just a couple of days before, just to kind of bring the hype. But it's odd that, like Cordy was saying, it kind of got lost in the holiday festivities.
Yeah, I think so too. It would have been great if they said, hey, it's grand opening the week before or something like that, so it didn't get
I'm surprised they didn't do that, because then they would have had 2 big weekends to be able to promote. But I guess but then you got to figure they're doing the media night. Do they really want to do the media night the day after Halloween?
Well, true.
That's that's, you get into these weird things like that, or the next week wouldn't have been right after Halloween, would it? Was there was a week between, right?
Yeah.
There's a week between. Yeah.
So they could have done it that week. I think that would have been better.
Well, in I've been saying this all along because my the person who I know, I can't even think tonight. What is going on? I must have, that surgery really messed up my memory there. I'm just kidding. My contact over at Disney was saying all along, it's not ready for the 15th. I don't know why they're doing previews. They shouldn't be doing this yet. They need some more time. And I was like, seriously? And she's like, yeah. And she goes, seriously, opening day is going to be a fiasco. I can see it right now. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. Well, unfortunately, she was right about the opening day. Now, it's been off and on throughout the whole preview, but that's what the previews are for, is to work out the kinks and all that stuff. Unfortunately, a lot of what you were seeing happen was stuff that was already happening over at Walt Disney World. And that's the thing I was disappointed about. I didn't want to see that. I was hoping that they would take their time to do what they needed to. Now, I will tell you, though, I do like the layout better than Walt Disney World. Obviously, it's modeled after the Disneyland one. For most of you probably don't know it, when Disneyland closed because of COVID, it allowed the Imagineers to actually, plan and work things out for the ride. And so that's why it was planned after the Disneyland version. And also the Disneyland version is shorter, so you can tighten up those scenes and not have so many, dark scenes like you do at Walt Disney World. But yeah, I mean, it's still a fun ride. You got minimal compared to East Coast, down 4 hours at a time for days in a row. Yeah, I know that's true. Yeah. It's not happening as bad as over there, and I think that's partly because the fact that a lot of the animation or the characters having problems because of the humidity. Then you got, they're both having issues with sensors and the ride system, because the ride system is brand new, which is.
And this is another thing we need to talk about. The windows from the train. Have you guys seen those? What was the point of that? It's like they give you little peepholes.
I don't know if it's complete. I feel like it's not done yet.
Yeah, I would hope so, because it's like the strangest thing. I have no idea why it's done that way. It's like they added some like set dressing, like some silhouette to frame things, but it's too much to where you've got these tiny little windows to look through, and you're like cruising by so fast, it's almost impossible to really see anything. And that's even knowing what's in there. If somebody has not been on it, they're kind of like, I have no idea what I looked at.
Was that something you set up for media night, do you think? Because it wasn't set up like that. In fact, it was still dark when I went on it the last time I went on it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they opened it Friday.
Oh, Friday. They opened the window?
Yeah, we did the sweeper train and the lights were on, because they've been closing the ride at 10 p.m. because we, of course, wanted to see, can we do single rider at the end of the night and freeze?
And freeze.
And then we were going to jump on the train. But then when we went through Friday on the sweeper train, we could see, and the lights were on, so it was like a different a little bit of a different effect. It just looked like it wasn't quite finished. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I hope so, but yeah, as it stands right now, it's like the strangest thing.
So Rob Willis said the windows look foggy too, like the windows at the car wash when you see your car.
Yeah, it looked a little.
Somebody just needs to get some Windex.
Clean it up. Yeah, we need a little Windex. But I get what you're saying, because I was like, you're trying to look like, because right, we know it's there, right. So you're like, okay, let me see if I can see it, and then by the time you are looking straight on, it's another wall. Like, I almost feel like there's still a piece of the wall that needs to come down.
Yeah, it did look like there was another section that either is not open yet or what, but I hope they adjust,
because that's always a treat to see.
Yeah, and they could have done a nice little frame, with the little willow kind of stuff hanging down and a little bit of shaping for the tree trunks, but they did way too much. I have no idea why they went that far with it, to make just tiny little holes to be able to look through. It's just very odd.
Sylvie Bear said, I did the cast preview on November 2nd and I survived. I like the images and scenes, cute. Did think it could have been a flat ride. I lost my glasses on the 50-foot drop. Wonder what Tony Baxter thought. Well, see, you're not the only one that lost anything there. Casual. Well, of course, that was Splash Mountain. Yeah, losing your phone.
And you'll notice that now I always put them on shaky cam, so it's the clamp. I'm not losing my phone again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I did notice that when you went on it on Saturday, and I was like, why is he not putting it on a regular gimbal? But yeah, okay. But when you used it, wasn't it on the DJI one?
Yeah, it was my old.
Yes, I haven't had a problem with my.
Yeah, there probably wouldn't be a problem, but I'm also afraid of a ton of water hitting it. So.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. And as far as Tony Baxter, well, I don't know what he thinks about it now, but he wasn't too happy about it when they asked him to come help out. So, and that we've talked about that in the past. But I mean, I wasn't there over the weekend. So did you guys, it seemed like it was working pretty good Saturday. Did you guys see any major issues with it on Saturday or Sunday?
I didn't notice anything. I had boarding group 25 and we got called at, I want to say like 9:40 or so, somewhere in there. I think we did it like right around 10 o'clock. So
Good.
Yeah,
like
I
it was
mentioned,
going fine in the morning.
it's still a fun ride. It's not my favorite, and I'm disappointed with how it turned out myself, like Theme Park Casual, but it's still the same ride track, still a lot of fun. I'm still going to go on it, so I will be doing that. But it's, I'm just disappointed because I really want to make sure, like, when they come out with something new, you want it to be fun, cool. Like, the same with Rise of Resistance. When that came out, it was breaking down all the time. It's like, gosh, am I ever going to ride this thing? What the heck, And so it's not like I'm just picking on that ride. I mean, I was mad when I couldn't get on Rise of Resistance many times, and that kept breaking down. And now they've kind of worked out the kinks. So hopefully they'll do the same thing too. Would be good if it was slightly slower. I agree.
It's the weirdest thing, though. That I find it very odd because there's not a lot in there. The scenes are very compacted, but you do feel like you want to sit and kind of watch the scenes rather than cruise past them. It's like when they've got the critters and then playing the music, you want to sit and listen to the music for a minute. And it feels like you just kind of, ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba, and you're off, you're gone. You get the one little, one verse worth of music and you're gone.
Yeah, it's, I don't know why, but I feel like you go by a lot faster in Tiana's Bayou Adventure than you did on Splash Mountain. So, and by the way, I've been reading a lot of articles regarding Tiana's Bayou Adventure and the opening stuff, and Parents Magazine has actually a really good article on it. I'm kind of happy because I'm trying to stay away from all the stuff, but a lot of people thought that, Splash Mountain was a racist ride, which I still believe it was not. But the thing is, a lot of articles you read talk about all this stuff. And what I liked about Parents Magazine just talked about the differences between the two rides in the parks and how it is for your family and kids. And they did a great job. So you can definitely check that out. And I think they did a great job of, communicating what that ride's like and about. So,
yeah. And come summertime, once we get some warm weather, it's going to be packed. So
oh yeah,
I think right now we're just dealing with the fact that we had an actual cold snap here in Southern California. And so I think in the evening, people are kind of like, I don't know. Don't want to get wet. So,
well, see, that was my hope. I was honestly thinking they're not going to open it because my source kept telling me they're going to open up after the first of the year, so they can have more time to work out the kinks and all that stuff, and it'll be warmer. Nope. And I was shocked as heck when I found out it's definitely opening in November. What? So,
but there's no shortage of people wanting to go on it. Still tough to get a queue. So
yeah, but it doesn't seem like it was very hard to get the queue for you guys.
It was for a lot of people, but they, there's
Friday?
the tricks.
I mean, thankfully they've opened up 3 blocks for it, so you get 3 tries at the very least. The 4 o'clock, you're taking your chances and having to possibly ride after sunset, which is going to make things a little bit colder. Like I said, especially right now, we're just having a weird cold snap. But in the mornings, I've gotten better at the virtual queue process. Mm-hmm. So I'll give you guys my tips. I have a second phone where I'm looking at the world clock, and right when it hits 6:59 and 59 seconds, I swipe down and do the refresh. And as soon as I'm done swiping, I'm already tapping in the area where the join virtual queue button is.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to do the clock, supposedly, right? The government one.
Yeah. So as soon as it happens, you want to swipe basically a split second before it hits, so that as it turns to 7 o'clock and opens up, that's when your browser is actually refreshing. When your app is refreshing, is when you want to do it. Because if you hit it just slightly after, you might be already too late, which is crazy.
You can't sleep on the join virtual queue. Like you have to hit that button as well. It doesn't count till you.
Yeah, and my recommendation is don't hit the refresh button. Keep pulling
Yeah.
down on the
Yeah,
screen.
do the
That's
swiping.
best way to
Swipe,
do it.
swipe
I do
down, swipe down.
refresh. I do
You what?
refresh. I'm
Oh, you
getting-
do the refresh. Okay.
Really? It's not worked for me at all. That's why I do the swipe down.
But whatever works better, right? Whatever like is more comfortable and like natural for you to do, they both work. So just depends on your, what works best. Yeah, Heather says I've never had any issues with virtual queues, not even Rise, but I never had luck with Tiana's. Oh, how funny!
Interesting.
I never got a Rise one back then. Never.
Oh, it got a rise out of me. Oh, we're talking about the ride. Okay.
We did it way back before we had our Magic Keys. We did a trip to Disneyland for Rise, and the 7 a.m. one, we were on the road, so Mrs. Casual was trying to do it, but it was a completely new process, and I had never done it, so I'm trying to coach her through it, and it was just a fiasco. I tried to tell her, you did nothing wrong. You literally have 2 seconds to get in there, and if you don't do it in 2 seconds, you're done. And there's hundreds of people that are blocked out of it because thousands are descending on it all at once. So
I remember when it opened up, and we kept trying, and we were having difficulty getting the virtual queue for Rise, and so I went with a bunch of coworkers because we all had passes at the time, and so we were like, okay, we need to find the right place in the park, and everyone's telling you, well, go to this place in the park and this place. Well, for some reason, a lot of my friends, if you went over just past the Reptile store and the shooting gallery, right by the Halloween tree there, if you stood right around that area, for some reason, boom, you could get it, and you were able to get one every single time. And so we would go to that section every single time. The funny thing is now, right now, for our cell phones, it's a really bad place to go for cell phone reception. So something must have changed over the years, but I thought that was funny. That seemed to be our place to go back in the day when you had to get a virtual queue for Rise. Yeah. So, and you still need to get one for Haunted Mansion for right now.
You sure do.
And you can't have one for Tiana and Haunted Mansion at the same time. So,
which is a real bummer. I think that's kind of ridiculous. They really should open that up. Did they actually open up the new line queue finally, or is it still closed?
They've taken some stuff down so you can kind of peek into it, but you have there's still stuff behind walls.
Gotcha.
The Magnolia Park area looks nice though.
And I love that the band played towards, yeah.
So they can play into the restaurant or they can flip around and play toward the park.
That was a good call on that one. Yeah.
That's really cool.
And the park feels much more open and a lot more space now. So even though we lost the fountain, it works. It looks nice and it just feels more open.
And when we were there the other night, Alan was like, "Oh, I like that. It looks like a face."
I was just going to say, I took a picture of it and I posted asking, is this kind of a subtle tribute to Raleigh Crump? Because it looks like his style of face if you look at it. So,
oh, yeah.
Cool.
Oh, and speaking of Raleigh Crump, I don't know if you guys noticed it because I've been doing this since I've been recovering at home from the surgery. I haven't had anything to do but exceptionally, watch streams and all my friends. So they finally took the walls down in front of Madame Leota's, gift shop. They're going to be opening up. Did you guys see that right above the doorway? There's actually a Raleigh Crump design from. What I think they were supposed to use for Museum of the Weird. So now my source is telling me that when you walk in, you're going to see all sorts of stuff along the tops and the edges of the walls. That's going to be related to Museum of the Weird, which I think will be cool. Obviously, it looks like they need to do some more design on the outside. I don't know if they're going to, they're not. Then Brian says, I like how the popcorn booth is back by the train station.
I do too. It looks good there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I think I'm looking forward to that shop opening. I wonder though, and to me, I still feel like they should have built it down in the ground where you walk down into it, so it was lower and it looks smaller than the Haunted Mansion. But it also makes you wonder if they made the size of the shop that way so that there was something kind of going in between Tiana's Bayou Adventure and the Haunted Mansion. Like Jolly Holiday is on one side. On the back side, it looks like, the Tiki Room. I mean, they kind of did something like that, but less subtle. I'm not sure if that's what they did and why. And also, you notice that there were a couple different doors on the front, and now it's a double door barn on the front, and I think on the side too, from what I could see. So that's definitely changed from the concept art. But it makes me wonder if they're still going to paint to make it look like the concept art on the outside, or if they're just going to keep it plain Jane the way it is. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they needed to make it probably about like 30% smaller. It just feels gigantic when you're near it. It's like oddly big. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Is it feels big, even though you could say, oh, it's the perfect size or whatever. It's like, that's great if by, on paper and the architect, everything is perfectly to size. When you're standing in it, right next to it, it feels way too big.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the concept art, it looked like it was going to be like tucked back a little bit, and off to the side of the exit for Haunted Mansion. And now the posts are like right as you come out, they're like right in front of the exit. So it's like, okay, I don't know, did somebody mess up on the concept art, or did did operations say, no, we need X number of square feet for, floor space for the shop, and therefore it had to go a little bit bigger than what they were expecting. And I don't know what it is, but it's, for me, it is just too big.
And what did you guys think of Lewis's Critter Club?
I haven't been in there yet.
It's cute. I mean, they didn't do too much because, again, it's one of those things where it's like, well, they had the existing shop, so they can only do so much. But they've got like the stuff up in the ceiling, like the vines and things like that, and little twinkly lights. So it looks cute. The merch, there's a couple of interesting pieces of merch. They've got one. It's like a little tin can piggy bank, but it comes with chocolate coins. But it's like, like the I can't remember what it's called, but like the dream jar or whatever, and it gives you a spot where you write, what you're saving up for, what your wish is. And I thought that was kind of cute that they did that. But other than that, it's the typical kind of stuff. They got the spirit jerseys, the T-shirts and hats, and the stuffed animals.
Is that the only place you can get the Tiana's spirit jersey?
I don't know. I know on Friday they had a sort of pop-up with Tiana merch over in the Starcade, but I don't know if they bothered with it because I don't think it was. I think everybody was over at the ride looking for merch. I don't think very many people went over to Tomorrowland for it. Gotcha. It's kind of tough because it's like I don't know. I think there was a little bit of a demand, but everybody went charging over to Bayou country to get their merch, and I don't know if anybody even knew that you could get the same merch over in Tomorrowland.
Did they start selling those fireflies, the Ray fireflies?
Yeah, they do have those. I saw a couple people actually purchasing them. So,
but you didn't get one?
I did not get one. And I don't know. Did you guys notice in Ray's Berets all the little jars? Yeah. I posted it on Instagram. One of them has a tribute to the Country Bear Jamboree. It's got like got these large bug heads as trophies, and it's Max, Buff, and Melvin.
It is.
And so I took pictures of a bunch of them, just on a whim, just thinking, let's see what's in there. So I just, lifting up my phone, taking pictures, not even knowing what I'm getting pictures of. And that was one of the ones that I noticed. So I got to go back and see if I can dig through and see if there's any other little Easter eggs like that.
Yeah, they definitely have one at the post office. There's supposedly one at the Haunted Mansion. I have not been able to find it. I think that's my biggest issue right now is that looking, they're kind of high up, so they're hard to see. And it's really neat because some say, vacancy or vacant and whatnot. And some look like little bedrooms, but some are tailored towards things in the park, like the post office and like the Country Bear Jamboree and the Haunted Mansion.
The Haunted Mansion is when you first walk in the door, it's the wall. Like you walk in the door, and if you make it, walk through the door, immediate right. There's like the little, there's something there. So here's the register, and then it's up high up here.
So it's above the register.
Door. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that when I was looking for it. It's so funny because when Theme Park Casual and we were waiting to get onto Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and it was the first time he was going to be on it. I said we were waiting because the ride had broken down. They're waiting to let people back on, and so I said I'm going to go raise parades. And so I was doing a vertical stream, and so I couldn't see the stuff behind the register. And the cast member says, "Give me your gimbal." So she took my gimbal. And she was filming for me. It was so cool that she did that, but it was still kind of hard to see all the stuff there, but. From what I'm being told, and you're hearing this, first from me, but according to my sources, what they're going to be doing is they're going to be switching some of that stuff out. And so some of those jars will change from time to time, and you'll see different things in there, or they'll tweak what's in there depending on the seasons. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be kind of cool. So more to come.
Yeah, I'm looking at one. There's like a little paper boat. It says Creole Queen. So I don't know if that's a...
Yeah, there's a lot of cool.
Yeah, there's the post office.
Yeah, I love the post office one. I think that's cool. You have to look carefully, too, the letters on the ground and whatnot and what they say, if you can see them.
Yeah, there's a playground. There's a bunch of paintings. There's a schoolroom.
Very, very cool. Well, I know we're hitting 10:05 here. If you guys have any questions while we're still here, if you want to throw those in the chat, and we can start to get our Q&A list going here. We have some already. We kind of saved some, so if there's a few questions that were asked earlier that we've got ready to answer.
Brian's seen quite a few things too we need to go through. So,
is there a new penny machine for Tiana's?
Not yet. I would hope
so.
Yeah,
I haven't seen one yet.
That spot's still open, right? They kept it open over there, the old Splash Mountain spot. So hopefully, that's how it goes.
I go blank. That's hilarious.
We have some in there right now, so we could, we'll get you guys started. Jingle Cruise. Do we know if there's going to be a Jingle Cruise?
Oh, no, there's not going to be Jingle Cruise this year. Yeah. They do it in Disney World, but I think they've stopped doing it at Disneyland. It's been a couple of years now with no Jingle Cruise.
And then
I thought they did the Jingle Cruise last year. Didn't they?
Mm-mm.
Was that the last year?
No, last year.
A while ago, huh?
Yeah, it's been at least a couple of years.
Hey, wow.
I didn't think they did it since they haven't done it since the park opened back up. I don't recall.
Does anyone know when Original Mansion returns? I'm assuming probably February or something.
So I was getting that. Usually what they do is they close it for 2 weeks and they open it back up. Obviously it was a little different for last year, but I'm not sure. From what I'm hearing from my source, that it might be shut down for a little bit longer because there's some things that they were going to change inside the ride that have not been changed and added. So there's a chance that it could be down for a little bit longer than just those 2 weeks from what I'm hearing.
We have all forgotten what the original Haunted Mansion is at this point. It's been so long.
I will tell you, I want to call out Rabola. So he was doing a members only stream. I think it was Friday, Saturday, and he actually shared the stream. It's a vertical, I think, and the ride broke down when he was in the cemetery, and he got to walk off the ride.
Ooh,
so if you want to see what it looks like with the lights on inside, go check out Rabola's short. It's really, really cool, and I'm glad he was able to share it with everyone.
Yeah, one of the things I heard that they're possibly doing is the hitchhiking ghosts are going to become digital rather than the Pepper's Ghost effect, and I'm really disappointed about that.
Well, I think it depends. Well, okay, so the what I'm hearing is that it may not necessarily be all digital for them. However, you know how you go through and you right now where you see Lock, Shock, and Barrel at the very end, and you're looking into the mirror, and the ghost will follow you home. they're supposed to, from what I'm being told by my source, they're supposed to be doing the same thing that they did in Walt Disney World, where they're turning those into digital screens, and things will happen like the ghost will turn your head into a balloon, your head will go flying off, and things like that. So who knows if they're going to do that or not? But I'm hoping they will, because to me, there's some effects in there that definitely need to be changed. While they were redoing a lot of the stuff, what they were doing is a lot of electrical, a lot of plumbing. They were changing some of the effects inside. But my understanding is that they still have some things to do. So if they decide not to do them, it'll be open within a couple weeks. If they do them, like my source is telling me, then it sounds like it's going to be closed for a little while again, but not as long as it was last year, or this year, I should say.
Exactly, zombies.
Mm-hmm.
And you too, Sammy Bear. Exactly. It'll be like a whole new ride. A whole new ride. Are they adding a picture spot?
I don't know. I haven't been in the park.
I wish there were more pictures for attractions. I think we need more of those.
You know what they have been doing a lot, though, is if you are, if you do go to the parks and they do, or you do have an annual pass or whatnot, you can do the photo, what do they call it? The Disney photo pass? No, photo. What is it called? Disney photo something. And you can take pictures with characters in the parks and do all sorts of really fun things. So I would definitely, check that out.
Mm-hmm. There was a question. It's a Knott's question.
Oh.
Saved for.
Is that Knott's or is it for the?
It was when you were talking about Knott's, yeah. The Thanksgiving dinner.
You know what? Yeah. Hold on. Let me see real quick because I looked it up for Disneyland. I thought he was talking about Disneyland.
Oh.
No, Knott's. Okay, so they are doing Thanksgiving take-home dinners. It looks like. You get turkey or ham. What? Seriously, they don't have anything else? Hold on. Oh, I hear the cat.
That's your alarm clock.
That's how we know that it's past 10 o'clock.
That's funny. Okay, here we go. So Thanksgiving, Knott's is having a Thanksgiving Day champagne brunch. You can join Mrs. Knott's Chicken Dinner Restaurant at one of America's most beloved dining spots. And Thanksgiving, let's see, sorry, let me go fast forward. So they are going to have a Thanksgiving buffet with all the classics, turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, along with the homestyle favorites like Mrs. Knott's famous fried chicken, homemade biscuits, boysenberry pies. You can also have a glass of champagne or seasonal pumpkin cider. And after a long day of excitement, you can choose from over a dozen comfortable and affordable hotels. Oh, that's something else. But yeah, they're going to have a Knott's Thanksgiving Day champagne brunch. So you can actually call let's see. Oops, what the heck happened here? Sorry, I clicked on something and went to something else. Here it is. So you can actually find it on the Knott's website. And you can find the phone number for the Knott's Chicken Dinner Restaurant, so you can make a reservation for it. There you go.
Sorry.
It's time for the cat jokes, I guess.
I love it.
This really wasn't a question, but Christy had brought up about the Genie Pass or whatever the name is. So yeah, it's the Premier Pass, Lightning Lane Pass now, and you can only do one ride each. And so basically, you can get on every single ride that has a Lightning Lane. But yeah, if you can't ride it or don't want to ride it, I mean, you can always have someone else in your party ride it. So I guess you could do that because it's not geared towards just, I mean, it may have your name on it, but you can still use it to, if someone doesn't want to go on the ride, you can just go on it twice. There you go. But it's cool because they do give you a QR code. Now I'll tell you, because I mentioned this before, they're doing the same thing they did in Paris. It's awesome because you can go anytime you want. You don't have to, make a time or reservation, and you can get on every single ride. But there's only 23 rides that actually have this, and it's very expensive. $400 for the rest of this year.
Yeah. Wild. Let's see. Yes, Noah, we actually talked about that. It was pretty crazy, the Knott's ride. So,
Mhm.
yep, so that's something else. Um,
Can we talk about how great poor casual hairs look? Oh wow, that's funny.
Ease
No
up,
inside jokes.
Slim. Ease up.
Is that something that happened over the weekend? Was something I missed
What?
about his hair? I don't know.
No, Slim just does that to me.
Wasn't sure if there's something I'm missing. You know, I've been kind of out of it this past week. So
All right.
oh, well, Christy, I saw your message, but again, if the person that buys the pass can't go on the ride, then you can still use it. I mean, someone else can use it and go on it. So
I think we got through the questions we had saved. Yeah. All right. Well, if there is nothing else, we covered a lot of topics. There's going to be a lot more to come. I know in a couple of weeks we will have experienced a lot more of the holiday season and other things. So look forward to sharing that with you guys. And also keep an eye out for, all of our streams. We'll be out there in the parks, sharing everything with you. And sounds like we might have some opportunities to stream together. So that'll be fun. Everyone, oh no. Now what? Who's saying what?
Where is it? So it's 10:15. Who's off to the park for Power Hour?
Almost. Somebody last night said, well, you could just go to the park. And then for a minute, I was like, there was no reservations. Darn it.
Only Cordy.
I did the 3 shows last night. We did the trifecta. I was like,
oh, you did? Did you do the first World of Color or the 10:15?
First one.
First one. So you did World of Color, booked it over to Fireworks, and then did Phantasmic.
Yeah. That was fun. All righty. Well, I think we are going to close out the show. Before we do that, let's go ahead and go on the horn here. Theme Park Casual. Where can everybody find you? And remind everybody when you'll be streaming next.
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, X, and Instagram, all of them at Theme Park Casual. I will be live at Disneyland this Wednesday evening, hopefully going live at 5:30 to catch the 5:30 parade. And then Friday, I am taking the day off of work, and I will be hitting Knott's Merry Farm for the kickoff of their Christmas season. We'll probably be starting like around 1 o'clock-ish and maybe taking it all the way to 10. So should be a nice little day, and I'll lose the rest of my voice that day. So.
Are you drinking tea with lemon and honey?
I'm drinking lots of coffee and lots of water. A little bit of Gatorade there.
Drinking the coffee.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Berry Place 28. Let everybody know where you're at. What's your plans? What do you got planned?
You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Facebook. And if I can get a reservation for Wednesday, then I will be at the park on Wednesday as well. And if I can't, then I hope to be at Knott's Merry Farm for the opening. I don't think I'm going to start at 1 o'clock, but I may go over there and hang out with the casual for a little bit, even while he does a stream, and then maybe do my live stream a little bit later. I probably won't do it very long because, like I said, I've just kind of healing this hand up right now. So and then obviously I'll be there on Saturday at Disneyland for sure. And hopefully joining some of you, and I'll do just a little bit of a live stream hopefully on Saturday. So that's my plan of attack for right now. So tentative for Wednesday and Friday, and for sure on Saturday.
All right, wonderful. And Cordy in California, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, and Discord, and Threads. And I will be there Wednesday. Dragon Blood will be at the park, so a lot of us will be hanging out and just having a fun night. So, and then again I should be there Thursday, and then Saturday because we're doing the whole food thing, and then Sunday.
She's like, I'll be there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. No, just kidding. Too funny. That's awesome. Well, you guys have a lot to watch and catch up on, and and also I just want to say thank you everyone for indulging me in my trivia nights the last couple times since I've been recovering at home. It was a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed the trivia nights as well. So
those are awesome. I love those.
thank you. Yeah, they were pretty challenging this last couple ones we had yesterday. So, but we had some really good players, and I'm so glad that everyone joined in. So,
are we getting decorating any streams with the Christmas decorations? Or?
Well, considering the fact that I'm a little out of it right now with my injury, I'm probably not going to do. So here's what I'm planning this year. Normally I do like a Peanuts gang ice skating on my lawn, which is kind of cool with a little nativity scene. Well, this year, if I can, you guys are going to be impressed. Hopefully, I'm going to try to do projection mapping onto my house, just like they do at Disneyland with the castle. So if I can do that, I will do that instead. I'm going to test it and see how it works. If it works out great, you will see a live stream at my house of my Christmas decorations like I do with my Halloween. But that's what we're doing. What are you guys doing? Are you doing any decorating?
I don't really do any decorating. I'm way too busy.
Whatever. I'm out of here.
I put out my popcorn bucket and Mickey.
Oh, amazing. That's it?
Yep. That's it.
That's okay. It's okay. You know me.
I just wish go to the park. See, I don't have to do anything. I just have to show up there. It's already decorated.
Look, we got a 60-foot tree right here. We got projection mapping on the castle. And look over here. We got Santa Claus. Okay, we're good.
That's exactly
too funny.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate you all very, very much. Happy birthday to you, Lauren Campbell, coming up on Wednesday, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hit that like and subscribe button.
We'll see you on Wednesday. Like, subscribe. Check out our shorts. I know we're adding them. Thank you. Barry Place 28 has really been, getting those shorts on there. So, just spread the word. Let them know how great Streamers Hangout is. Alrighty, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Sweet dreams to y'all. And we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Good night,
Bye,
kids.
Everyone.
We hope you enjoyed our amazing show tonight. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next Park Streamers Hangout. Have a good night, everyone.